Welcome to this Sunday's Gospel Reflection. There is an infinite number of jokes about marriage. Those I found on the internet seem to be mostly written by men. Marriage is when a man and a woman become as one. The trouble starts when they try to decide which one. Another one is when a newly married man looks happy, we know why. But when a 10-year married man looks happy, we wonder why. Love is one long sweet dream. Marriage is the alarm clock. It wakes you up. The husband. Why do you keep reading our marriage license? The wife. I'm looking for an expiry date. And so on and so forth. In today's second reading, St. Paul, who was single, made some challenging and debatable statements about marriage. He writes this: an unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But a married man is anxious about the things of the world, how he may please his wife, and he is divided. An unmarried woman or a virgin is anxious about the things of the Lord, so that she may be holy in both body and spirit. A married woman, on the other hand, is anxious about the things of the world and how she may please her husband. Let's come back to our context. Recently, our Archbishop's statements about priesthood and celibacy has caused many comments and some strong debate. There is food for thought both in the jokes in St. Paul's writings and in the Archbishop's statement. Is celibacy superior to marriage, as St. Paul seems to imply? Is a single celibate priest a better priest than a married one? We humans find it so difficult to value anything without necessarily comparing it with other things or situations. Every good choice we make can have its beauty and its limitations. We simply cannot have it all and all the time. As Kohelet says in the Old Testament, there is a time for everything, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. We cannot be or do everything at the same time. And that is why God created us different. Because God's beauty and goodness is so infinite, so endless, that no one can have it all by himself or for herself. Every one of us is entrusted with a unique spark of God's own infinite goodness and beauty. and no one can carry all of God's goodness, all of God's beauty on his or her own. And that is why each person has his or her own beauty, his or her own gifts and qualities. There are no twins that are totally and perfectly identical because God never repeats himself. He never creates the same flower, the same animal or insect, a same sunset or a same sunrise. Let alone God does not and never create a human person twice. God does not believe in mass production. And yet, when the unique beauty of each flower or animal or sunset or humans is put together, ah, they reflect God's own infinite beauty. And it is this that makes each one of us, born or unborn, or yet to be born humans, male or female, or any other gender, rich or poor, or whatever race, nationality, age, social status. It makes each one of us special, unique, and irreplaceable. This is the source of our true and marvelous dignity as children of God. So it is in this context that we need to understand Paul's words. I would somehow translate them in this way. An unmarried person is entrusted to be a witness of the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But a married person is entrusted to be a witness of the things of the world, how he may please his beloved wife. An unmarried woman or a virgin is entrusted to be a witness of the things of the Lord, so that she may be holy in both body and spirit. Whilst a married woman, on the other hand, is entrusted to be a witness of the things of this world, how she may indeed please and love her husband. In God's eyes, there is a place for everyone, for anyone. The most important thing is not who or what you are, what status, mission, what job you have. The most important thing is not what power you have, how rich, handsome, intelligent, or capable you are. The most important thing is that you put all God's love in who you are and what you do. This applies to all vocations, both of those who get married or those who remain single, both for a single consecrated person and a married priest. A celibate priest cannot live and express love in the way a married person does. Just as a married person cannot express God's love in the way of a celibate priest. A married priest cannot be a witness of God's love in the same way as a celibate priest or a monk. Just as a single mother cannot give the same love to her child as a married mother, and vice versa. In God's eyes, there is a place for everyone and anyone. We are all His children, born out of the same loving heart of God. But we need to acknowledge that we cannot be God. We cannot have it all. We cannot consider what we have or who we are to be in any way superior or more important than anyone else who is different from us, whether it is an identity, gender, mission, talent, gift, or even priesthood. We are all brothers, all sisters, created by the one love who is God. So instead of stupidly comparing or competing with one another, how happy and fulfilled we humans can be if we just accepted that unique spark of God's own beauty and gratefully do our best to offer it to all those with whom we live in our ways and different ways of life. How happy can we be if we joyfully recognize and accept the beauty that those who are different from us can offer to us, and the beauty that we have can offer to them. As Mother Teresa used to put it so simply but beautifully, what I can do, you cannot do. But what you can do, I cannot do. Together, let us do something beautiful for God. Thank you, and God bless you.